Hold up. I gotta light a candle. I gotta set the mood for this shit. We have things to talk about, okay? You're probably here wanting to know what the fuck's going on with those palettes. I'm here to tell you. Hi everyone, it's Isabella here, and welcome back to the channel. So, hi y'all, how are we doing today? Here's the thing. You're clicking on this thumbnail because one, you might want a refresher on this company, or two, you're very, very curious about the very interesting TikTok makeup palette that has been all over that individuals have been trying to show off to you or have been using a lot. Maybe you're kind of surprised that there is an alleged scam behind it. Yeah, I know. There's many insane hidden scams and unethical things on TikTok, but I want to specifically dive into this company because if you do or don't know, Seint, which is the company behind these palettes, is a multi-level marketing company. Now, some people are like, okay, MLMs, we already don't like them, or maybe you're curious about why I don't like them. Either way, we're going to dive into the full problems of this company. I'm talking lawsuits. I'm talking people are starting to have a problem with this company because of the products. I'm talking about an alleged name change and secret trainings that I have snuck into that have aired out how this company apparently runs their business. So before we hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below. My blog, channel, merch, and podcast are in the description below, and I highly suggest you check out that second channel of mine because we can hang out more, you know, and I like doing that with y'all. Now, let's get into it. Real quickly though, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor. You and I both know that you like internet safety and privacy while you are on surfing the web, getting work done, or just living an everyday regular life, right? The internet could be a wonderful place, but sometimes there could be major problems. I'm someone, for one, who I like to be able to make sure that my address is not on the internet. I also like to be able to use a VPN. I also like when my credit is monitored. There's a lot of personal information about us on the internet, and some of it is way too personal. There's so much information that could be out about you on the internet, and that's because data brokers will sell your data off to robocallers, scammers, you name it, and that's a huge problem. And I like making sure my information's safe. And wouldn't it be nice if there was a program that was able to protect us in multiple different ways, all on one platform? Oh, well, what do you know? Aura does that. So if you guys do or don't know, Aura is a really amazing internet safety program that actually helps keep you safe from multiple different problems. So for example, I'm able to actually very frequently do a search on my information and make sure my home address is not up on the internet, which is very important for me. And they also have many other features as well. Aura actually has an app that offers things such as a VPN. They do searches to make sure no one has leaked your passwords or emails, credit monitoring, protecting you from identity theft, and also parental controls. So many different amazing services that they have all on one platform to keep you and your family safe. And I absolutely love Aura. So if you guys want to get started and see what kind of information Aura finds about you, you guys can scan the QR code on the screen or go to aura.com/Lanter and start your 14-day free trial today. Thank you so much for Aura for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get into it. There are going to be a bunch of timestamps in the description below. So if you have someone that is going to get recruited into this, someone that is interested in learning more, you yourself are trying to learn more about this, there's timestamps, okay? So if you're curious, you want to look at something specifically, I've got you. We're covering it all, okay? I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Let's start off with the products though, because the products I think are a great kickoff to the entire company. So how this company has developed to what it is today is there was an individual by the name of Kara who wanted to design this beauty brand. Now, apparently her goal was to make something different, have it to where it would accentuate your natural beauty and everything, which I am all for. I love minimalistic natural makeup. I love color correction. I am a makeup girly. I love that stuff. However, it becomes very problematic when we jump into a multi-level marketing company. So if you're scrolling on TikTok, you sometimes come across these individuals that are doing a get ready with me or talking about a situation of theirs, and they're using this palette. And some people are really curious because naturally it looks fascinating. It's a bunch of cream products or products in general in one palette. It looks more user-friendly, and a lot of people are really fascinated by that. So the products actually that you see are essentially a palette that you can build yourself, which is not an uncommon thing. It appears to me that they try and act like they're they've done something different, okay? So the idea of having cream-based products, color correcting, and minimalistic makeup has literally existed for years and years and years. So they have actually tried to have this idea where you can buy individual pans of products that could be used for anything. So there could be products that could be for like lips and cheek. There could be products that could be for like contour, or you can use it for like bronzing for your eyes, just a bunch of cream-based products. You can buy these individual single products, put them in a palette, and customize it to however you want. But the problem is a lot of people kind of have a problem with the fact that their pricing is pretty damn high, which honestly, I think it's pretty decently high. I would much rather spend that money on a brand that has a very good track record. I've heard some very mixed reviews. I've heard people say that they think it looks very cakey and not really the best to use, and it just looks like a mush mix of madness, which I'm gonna be honest, I personally agree with. Others have actually vocalized how they think that it's a little too confusing for people and there's not enough user-friendly access when it comes to the discussion of how to use these products. And honestly, I agree as well. Other people have said they like it. At the end of the day, that's not really me trying to change your mind if you should like it or not like it. That's not really, I don't really give a shit, okay? If you like a product, that's great. However, I would just like to say, if you are someone that are like, oh my God, I didn't know it was an MLM, or you like the idea but don't want to purchase from them, I'm gonna tell you right now, there are many other brands out there who offer the same concept, okay? Now, one other thing I want to talk about that I think is very problematic with this company is they offer color matching services. So when you join the company, which we'll talk about the MLM side here in a second, when you join the company, you are essentially labeled as like a makeup artist. And so with that, you are able to take a client of yours and do a color match. So the way that they do this color match apparently is you're able to have the client sit in front of natural lighting and take a photo of themselves without makeup. And apparently that's how you do the color match, which I'm going to be honest, that is just the worst idea I have ever heard when it comes to this kind of stuff. I am someone that I like, again, I need to color match my shit as well, but there's so many varying tones on your skin, and for you to get a custom color match when they're not physically near you is just wild to me. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, as someone who literally shoots content for a living, you know how many times I have to color correct my own photos to make it look decent and like actually how I look because the camera is adjusting differently. I have to do that. There's so many times where there's different toned lighting. So for example, there could be really warm lighting coming through your window that might adjust the visual appearance of your skin. If there's more cool tone, like there's so much that can impact the visuals of color matching, and that is not going to lead to a very accurate color matching in my opinion, which is honestly going to lead to wasting of money. And additionally, another thing that I have a problem with is people who do not have any sort of actual professional training. Now, I know we have come across many people in MLMs who have claimed that they have professional training. Majority of the time, that's just complete BS, because what is the explanation or breaking down that it is professional training, right? We have these people that call themselves business owners, okay? So like, just keep that in mind. When it comes to this training, it's not like they're going to beauty school, right? It's not like they have proper tools. It's not like there are enough clear guidance to make sure that it is accurate. Like, unless you're physically with someone, the chances of that being super accurate are really not good, okay? And so it really bothers me how, one, we're gonna have an issue with accuracy, but additionally, we're gonna have people who are not exactly properly trained for this, or we don't have any guarantee that they're trained for this per se, and then they're depending on a photo of you to give you the proper color match. You have a better opportunity of going into an Ulta and swatching things on your own. And by the way, I like swatching foundations on my neck and chest, because guess what? I want to match my entire face, because if I have a little bit of a different tone on my face, but the rest of my neck and chest are a little bit warmer, for example, I want to match it so everything looks completely seamless and together. You're going to want a more accurate representation. And additionally, I would like to add, if you want color matching, yeah, go to Ulta, because they have free returns. So if you don't like something, if something is not working for you, if it oxidizes weird, you can return it for free with no risk. Whereas with their return policy, I would not trust it. And I don't think it's worth the hassle in any capacity. The next thing I want to talk about is we're going to dive into the entire business opportunity, which is where a lot of y'all are interested in. So here's the deal. That for my regular viewers, that you guys know this, you guys are used to the drill of the numbers and data behind why MLMs are statistically not a good business opportunity. Click on over to the next timestamp and we'll get rolling into the real goods, okay? But if you're brand new and if you're someone like, why the hell does she not like MLMs? Who is she to tell us that MLMs are a problem? I'm going to whip out the data. I'm a data girl. I'm a numbers girl. And I'm going to whip out all the information to talk about how MLMs are just a problem in general. If you guys do or don't know, the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, has literal studies on this to show that multi-level marketing companies are statistically not going to be giving you a lot in return. They actually have a specific section that discussed how even if you work really hard, the chances of getting a good financial return are little to none. That doesn't even remotely promise you that you're going to get anything. So when a company goes on and says how this is a good side hustle, how you can have extra money for your family, how this can just add a little bit of extra something, they're honestly mismarketing it completely and incorrectly advertising it, because even the FTC states that majority of people that even work hard are not going to get anything in return. Now, the actual real specific numbers are saying that majority of participants in multi-level marketing companies make little to no money, and many actually lose money. So most of the time, it's a money pit for people who join MLM companies. You have a higher chance of making a return with gambling. You have a higher chance of getting a return on a zero product-based pyramid scheme, which is very problematic. Now, I'm not encouraging you to join a pyramid scheme. Please don't do that. That doesn't end well either. And I'm also not encouraging you to gamble to make money. My God, please don't do that. What I'm saying is the fact that you literally have a higher chance of getting a return on gambling than a multi-level marketing company, that is unhinged. But yet this entire concept of multi-level marketing has been literally promoted to so many individuals as a way of earning extra money. And that's completely not true. Additionally, some other information I would like to say is, again, you have more guaranteed money if you get another side job. You have more guaranteed money if you start your own actual small business. There's many other ways of actually earning money and having your efforts pay off instead of this. So that's exactly why I do not like MLMs, because it's not just my opinion necessarily. The data is literally stacked up to represent how problematic these companies are. Now, that doesn't mean I can prevent everyone from joining, but what I would like to say is the FTC agrees with me. So now let's hop on over and let's actually talk about how you join the company. So in order to join the company, you have to spend a specific amount of money. So here are the starter kit options. So this is what you're kind of looking at when it comes to an investment. They changed it up a lot ever since I personally have last spoke about this company. They have a $100 option, and then they got two, and so on and so forth, right? And so it's a pretty decent amount of investment. Okay, you're getting products, that's great, but I would say that's still a pretty damn expensive cost right there. And additionally, what I would like to say is there's no customization of the products, which is making me so uncomfortable because, again, every time I do research on these companies, I pretend that I'm purchasing it. I never do, but I pretend that I'm following the routine to see exactly what a customer would go through or a soon-to-be promoter would go through when it comes to purchasing a starter kit. There is no customization of the items, which is so problematic to me because makeup should be customized. So when you have a starter kit that has zero customization, you're just given random shit, that's not really going to be helpful or beneficial to people who have different shades, different skin undertones, you name it. And so that's just already sounds like a big waste of money because I've personally heard of people buying starter kits and realizing that half of the shit they couldn't even use. And that is just ridiculous to me. If you're going to have a starter kit, it should be customizable. And I've mentioned this years ago and they still have done nothing. And what's funny is I literally know that they've seen my stuff. I've literally been blocked from seeing specific websites that had personal trainings on them because they clocked my videos. So I'm just saying they're aware. And in my opinion, they are lazy as fuck and don't actually care about the individuals and future promoters because they're not offering actual customization for them when it comes to makeup. And for expensive makeup, I should be getting shades that I want. I should be getting shades that work. So that right there, big problem. Now that's kind of your big investment when it comes to starting off the company, which is not horrible, but it's still a good investment. And keep this in mind with the first investment as we're going through the income disclosure statement. Now, for those of you who don't know what the hell an income disclosure statement is, it's simply a chart that shows how much people are actually making in the company. Now, you're not legally required to make one every single year in the US, but it's a red flag if a company doesn't have one because they're not being fully transparent with you. And I think that's a problem. However, they only have the 2021 income disclosure statement, which very interesting how they don't have the 2022, but nonetheless, let's look at the 2021. We're going to look at each rank. We're going to look at the money that they make, and we're going to look at that in comparison to the upfront investment that you're going to have to make with this company. So here is the 2021 annual income disclosure statement. So right here, I want to read off some little disclosures on the side because again, I'm trying to make this as clear as I possibly can. The earnings of the artist in this chart are not guaranteed of the income, if any, that a Seint artist can or will earn through his or her participation in the company compensation plan. Note that all income paid to artists summarized in this disclosure does not include expenses incurred by artists in the operation or promotion of their business, which can vary widely and might include products purchased, advertising or promotional expenses, product samples, training, rent, travel, telephone, and internet costs, and miscellaneous expenses. Note that it takes hard work to make substantial income in this business, and some artists make no money at all. Success in this business requires leadership, hard work, and dedication just like anything you do in life. The bottom line is Seint provides artists with an excellent opportunity to earn supplemental income for those who work hard. Again, might I add, that is a load of bullshit. It does not really provide great supplemental income when majority of people make no money. Dumbass. The income statistics are for all active Seint artists who enrolled during the period of January 2021 to December 2021. So what an active artist is it's defined as a person who, one, executed a Seint artist agreement, so, started up with the company and has kept going, whatever, and has 240 PCV, personal commissionable volume, which sales volume accrued from the sales of product to direct customers. So as long as you sell at least $240 essentially a month is what I'm saying, that's when you qualify. The average, they say, annualized income for all artists, whether inactive or active, was $2,629 $1,000,000.32, which I would like to say, let me get back into the frame. I would like to say the active information, let's get that out of the way, because I have some personal beef with the concept of having average numbers in this stupid ass income disclosure statement. So, and this is my personal belief. However, as someone who is a numbers girly, so when you have a company like this and when they have averages versus median, I have a problem when you whip out the averages. Reason being is when we look at the data, which we will hear very soon, and when we have one person at the top of the company that makes $1.6 million, right? And then we have people at the very lowest that probably make nothing. When we do the average of that, the average is going to be ridiculously fucking high compared to what you actually should be expecting and what majority participants are making. So I personally have a problem with the averages number. I personally believe it's there to mislead you. That's my personal belief and opinion. You do with that what you will, okay? I don't like averages. If we did median and we actually went to the middle and figure out, oh, majority of people are making this much money, that to me is more of an accurate representation. Because again, we have a bunch of people that made nothing and we have one person that made 1.6 million. We're probably going to show that majority of people made hardly anything versus if we do an average, it's going to be up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Let's show those numbers. 28.84% of active artists are at the first rank. Then we go to the high number for the entire year. High number for the entire year, 592. Low was 0. Average was $79. What does that tell me? That tells me majority of people hardly made shit. That's what that tells me. So think about this. You work this for a year and that's what your return is after buying a starter kit. The next rank, 9,895 people are at artists 2. Percentage of active artists is 60.39%. High was 38.401%. Whoa. I don't know what that, I just short circuited there, my bad. $38,401. Low was $1, average is $1,025. Now here's another thing I want to point out. The $38K is not including taxes. Keep that in mind. Not including other expenses. Keep that in mind. This is a very small amount of people technically out of the company that are here. Artist 3, 1,124. 6.86% of them are active artists in the company. The highest was $145K. The lowest was $187. Average was $5,183. Now, $187 for an entire year. And let's say you make $5K. Not including taxes, because you're going to have to pay taxes on that. Is that really worth it for working and busting your ass? Because what I'm going to tell you right now is I see people literally running themselves to the ground essentially to work a lot of these companies. That's what I've seen from many companies across the board. And the chance of getting a high income or any good extra income is very, very low. And the fact that we can see the averages in comparison to the actual low levels and we can see that drastic change, your chances of making money in this company are not very high at all. So I have a serious problem with this company because it's marketed off as an opportunity to make good money when in reality we can clearly see it's shit. I want to kind of get into the other problems with this company, which is honestly makes it worse is how this company has run and the many problematic issues when it comes to this. So I would like to be very clear when I say with my research of companies, and I did this years ago when I talked about this company last, every time I research a new company, I get DMs on DMs that are private. I got anonymous emails. I get a lot of submissions by people that are like, please don't tell anyone who I am. Don't tell anyone who you got this information, but here it is. And it's very scary to me because I have a lot of people that have tried to message me because they are scared of the situation and they legally cannot tell publicly what they've gone through, which is a problem in itself, okay? Now, I've also witnessed very problematic things when it comes to lawsuits. I have talked to victims of these companies. I have to say that this is my personal experience because I know I don't have crazy amounts of like data to back this up. I just get a lot of personal messages from people who are victims of companies like this, specifically this one. I still get them to this day, even though I haven't talked about them for probably over a year, almost 2 years. And I want to talk about a lawsuit real quickly. This is one that is very close to my heart. So if you guys do or don't know, Seint actually was formerly known as Mascara. So if I can remember all this clearly, and again, I'm going to have a lot of this in the description below, the company was Mascara in 2013. Lawsuit was initiated in 2019, and then the name change of the company switched in 2020, which I'm going to be honest, I have a personal belief that they switched the name, because the lawsuit was pretty rough and didn't make them look good. I get that. Originally, this is Tyrell versus Mascara. So Tyrell apparently received a suspension letter from the company saying, oh, you're done, bye-bye, which is very sudden and very weird, which is also why I believe that you're not really a true business owner from what I can see, because they can revoke your access to anything and remove your commissions and you name it. Now, there was some claims that were saying allegedly Tyrell was buying ranks in the company, which Tyrell denied. And so the suspension was apparently due to that. Now, I have heard through the grapevine, alleged storytelling and anonymous DMs that there was a lot more going on. There was a lot more issues and competition and cattiness, and that was allegedly why this actually went down and happened, which honestly wouldn't surprise me due to the harassment I've personally gone through back in the years from Seint promoters. Now, again, this is not like the first time that I feel like Seint has had some issues when it comes to promoters as well, because I've actually witnessed several different people who have come out and say, this is how they mistreated me. This is what happened. There have been people that have been literally harassed when they've left. A lot of clicky, messy shit. And for example, just from my own personal experience alone as well, I have not had good experiences with people with Seint. Now, again, I know I call out companies for a living. I get that, right? You're not going to agree with me all the time. What I would expect more from grown women, because I think when I first started talking about them, I was like 20 something. I don't know. I was younger compared to them. Okay. I would expect a lot better from people who just simply thought I was just some idiot, right? If I'm just some idiot on the internet, why waste your time? But the amount of DMs that I would get from Seint promoters was unhinged. I had people going off on me, crazy things essentially. I could get DMs from grown women all the time about how it was problematic. I even got a DM from Kat Fairchild. She's one of the top leaders, and she was pissy with me too. Problem is this is what I've seen, a very consistent behavior, and it honestly sounds like a consistent behavior that they had to acknowledge, because on their website, this is the kind of the information they're saying how they don't deal with this or tolerate any messiness, which is kind of bad when you have to go out of your way to say, we don't tolerate this. That's not who we are, when it comes out so often. So the lawsuit already gave me a bad taste in my mouth. And from just speaking to other individuals who knew of this person and hearing the background, what actually happened, it's devastating to say the least. I do not feel like this company is ethical in any capacity. Continue on though to trainings, because I'm sure you guys are curious about training. So up front, of course, they're going to be like, oh my God, we're a family. We do things right. We're not a pyramid scheme. We don't do that kind of stuff. Okay, well, I remember back in the day, and I'm whipping out these clips because these clips are gold. This is going to be a compilation of a bunch of training information that I was able to come across that was literally airing out how Seint apparently works. Now, again, this was made a good old while ago. Anyways, let me show you an example of training and what they're going to expect of you.
You were serious about this not just being a hobby or a side gig. If you want this to be your career, you have to recruit. And if you want this to be a career, but you're not selling into the 40% commission bracket easily every month, it's not going to likely end up being a lucrative career for you. You go work for corporate America and have a much safer little place to play and get a guaranteed paycheck. Sales are not guaranteed, but our goal is to recruit 500 for 5. And that sounds crazy. And some of you are like, I don't want to do that. You have to do that. Why? Because we cannot control what other people are going to do with this opportunity. And because we can't control it, we cannot recruit 5 people and then hope and pray and wish that those 5 people are as like-minded as we are and that they're going to take the business and run with it. That's a nice thought. I only want to recruit a couple of really, really hard workers. Well, guess what? Sometimes hard workers have other stuff come up and they don't want to do Seint anymore. And then what? All this time has gone by and you haven't recruited anybody else and you have no backup plan and your structure completely crumbles and falls.
Isn't that lovely? So needing to recruit, dependency on recruitment, the way that they talk about business is absolutely unethical. And the response is to essentially act like I'm crazy and move on. I'll never forget those trainings. And I'm sure if I get sent more, I would find more exactly like that. If anyone wants to air out more Seint shit, please send it to my email in the description below because I want to see it. Next up though, I want to talk about my final thoughts and what you can do when it comes to this company. First of all, I would never recommend this in any capacity. I think companies like MLMs are unethical and problematic. And additionally, I think you can avoid the company's products as well. There are many other brands that you can literally customize when it comes to makeup. Like literally, hold on, let me grab my damn palette. So this thick bitch is my palette that I made on my own because I wanted to have everything here. So this is what I've got going on because I'm very extra. I literally ripped out every single one of my favorite shadows and combined it. And then I have a bunch of random shit. And then I have like cream stuff that I put in. And like all of this like Anastasia Beverly Hills, I depotted some stuff and put them into my own pans. This is all from Amazon. All this stuff is great. I depotted my own stuff from other palettes that I have like Benefit Cosmetics, Anastasia Beverly Hills, stuff that I've had for years. And I put it in here. You can do the same thing, by the way. Literal professional makeup artists will of Depot products, put it into a mega palette, and that's it. Now I have a mini palette of this because some of y'all don't want something as big as this, right? I will literally have a mini palette in my bathroom as well that I've put smaller things that I use on an everyday basis that have tiny little pans. You can do that. You do not need to buy from the Isabella. And also there's other companies that literally have pre-created minis of things, which you can just buy without having to like depot your own stuff, okay? Now the next thing I want to say is from what I've seen with the lack of actual possibility of making money to how people have been very mistreated, have had a bad experience when it comes to the products that have left, to people who, from who I've been told, have been forced to be quiet because certain aspects of the company say that they can't really speak out against the company. That's very problematic. And then additionally, me, who has actually talked about this company, has been very adamant about discussing it back in my day and the way that I was mistreated by grown adults. Of course, from what I've seen, the corporate company hiding things actually, which funny enough, I'd like to vocalize. I remember there was a specific aspect of the Seint training that I had access to, and it was a public website. I would share some of those things and show examples of the problematic issues with the company. Then all of a sudden, after I covered it, it was private. So they have hid a lot of things for a reason from what I'm saying. I don't think it's an ethical company. I think it's very dangerous how, though, at the end of the day, there are many people who are using this product and trying to entice some people to join this multi-level marketing company and participate in it on TikTok through their interesting videos. So when you see someone doing a get ready with me and someone's like, oh my God, what palette is that? I would recommend commenting and letting them know that it's a part of an MLM and it's definitely not worth it. And also, if you guys are curious on any other videos that I've made about Seint, I'll have all of them linked in the description below. Now, full transparency, okay? I have become far better in my content. I've become better at speaking to a camera. I've probably matured a little bit, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be top tier quality, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, it was not top tier quality. If you want a little insight of some of the bullshit and shenanigans previously, go right ahead and do that. But this is my updated, better update on the company. I hope you guys learned something about the very sketchy palette and alleged scam hidden behind these TikTok get ready with me's. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor in the pinned comment description below, and I will see my angels in the next video. Bye.